I do this just on one? Oh, it's preparing. Everyone have your coffee, fix your hair. It's preparing to live stream. Gotta look serious now. Oh, and I'm gonna do this just on one. There. Okay, I think I've set it up right. So I've never done this before, you guys, live streaming. This is welcome to the new age of technology, hey? All right, so I've got some materials that I did up, and I'm going to put them on my website after this lesson is done. But I'm going to share them on the screen here. Do you guys all know where my website is, right? Like, Larry, were you able to find my website?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course, because you've got the Zoom link. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, let's have coffee and get to work. So what I'm going to do is make sure everyone's muted. And then, like I say, when you have a question, just unmute yourself. Now, Larry, I've seen you many times in the ukulele deal, but I didn't. I don't think I saw you play guitar before. This is pretty exciting. Or if you did, I just don't remember. So my background's in classical guitar. And so some of the techniques I'll be talking about will be kind of classical in mindset. And let's just get started, okay? So I know everyone here is comfortable playing a fretted instrument. I don't know what's happening out with YouTube, but I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the comments there too, just so everyone's ready to go. Now, when I talk about fingering for my picking hand, it's the same as the fingering I use for picking on the ukulele. So thumb is going to be P, okay? And then index finger is I, middle finger is M, ring finger is A. So it's a Latin terminology, and I don't remember how to say it, but just go with P-I-M-A. You're going to be hearing that a lot from me, okay? Another term that I'm going to be using is the full plant. And what that means is you're going to be putting thumb and those three fingers on the strings. I don't use my baby finger for this style of picking. I've only done that with flamenco, and I'm not, look at how tiny my baby finger is. It's just not going to work out for me with doing a lot of other finger picking. So standard is these three. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand up here and get you to do this right now. Put your thumb on the sixth string, okay, and just pluck it. Okay. Now, the thing for us is we're going to have to get used to having the strings further apart for finger picking, for people that have joined me for finger picking, right? So just check it out. See how I'm making just a circle with that thumb? Okay. Like that. So I'm not doing that. I'm doing a free stroke. Okay. And you can pick up here, wherever you feel comfortable holding your guitar. I'm going to talk about body positioning in a little bit too. Now I'm going to move my thumb to my fifth string. I'm going to do the same little circle thing here. Okay. Okay, and now the fourth string. So you may feel that, see how my arm had to reposition a little bit to come down? Depending on the scale of your guitar, you may have to move around a little bit. Okay. Now let's go back to the fifth string. Okay, and now let's go back to the sixth string. Right now I've got my fingers like that, but that's just so that you can see I'm using my thumb, okay? If I was sitting normally, it'd be like this. But I always worry that I might make it so it's tricky to see. I'm going to sit down now and just talk a little bit about body positioning, because we've all got different sizes of guitars, right? The body of my classical guitar is a little narrower at the end. And I know, Julie, you've got a smaller scale guitar than me. And I know that Larry and Doreen have larger body guitars. And I think Dale's kind of sits in the middle between, say, Doreen's size and my size. So when you're playing, I tend to, when I'm playing this sort of stuff, I tend to sit comfortably, whether it's like whatever position feels good for you guys. And my neck is often, when I'm doing this sort of stuff, parallel to the floor. But you'll also see me bring up my neck if I need to. You'll see me move my arm. Okay. Get comfortable, right? And it may be that you see me do that too, because my shoulders get a little bit tired sometimes, right? So find a spot that's good for you. And if you feel like it's not, don't say to yourself, Tina's got her arm here, I have to have my arm here. No, we're all different people with different bodies and different sizes of guitars. So you do what you need to do to make yourself feel comfortable. Okay. Now, let's do the fingy part here. Okay, so I'm going to stand back up here. And what we're going to do to start is just have the pointer finger on the first string. And I just want you to pluck it a few times. Now, when I'm plucking, what I want you to notice, I'm going to get really close for this, is I'm not using my fingernail and snapping up like that. Okay? I'm using the very tip of my finger. See that? And then what happens is I pick and my fingernail just gives it a bright finish. So don't feel like you've got to do like this. Some people feel like they need to do that, or they do this where they bring their finger down between the strings and snap up. Don't worry about that. You're just going to use your fingertips. So, and you might notice too while I'm doing this that I've got my thumb sitting on my my sixth string. That's totally cool. You can have your thumb on your body if you want. You can have it floating free. It's whatever feels good for you. Okay, now move that pointer finger to the second string. Okay, and now move it to the third string. Now we're going to do the same thing with the middle finger. Okay. Notice too, when I'm doing this picking, really, my fingers are doing this. It's almost like I'm waving bye-bye, right? So it's something to think about with that. And the mindset with that would be, you know, your finger is relaxed. It's not stiff and straight, just relaxed. Okay. Now let's go to that third string. Now, time for the ring finger. This is going to feel a little bit weird because it's a bit of a weaker feeling finger sometimes. But we're just going to play with it. If you anchor your thumb somewhere, that'll probably help. Here, I'll turn this way. There we go. So same idea, okay? And you can move when you're ready to the next string. So what I'm doing here is trying to get you guys to just be aware of the feeling of those three fingers versus your thumb, okay? And to kind of wake them up a little bit, right? Now, I want you to put your thumb on your sixth string. Pointer finger is going to be on the third string. Middle finger on the second string. Ring finger on the first string. Okay, so that's a full plant. Now watch what I do with my hand though. Just see that? How my thumb moved a little bit up that way? Okay. I want you guys to be mindful of that when you're playing, because if your thumb's here, eventually, these two are going to be interfering with each other. They're going to butt heads a little bit. So if you think thumbs up, right, like just make a thumbs up kind of thing, that can help. So let's do this now. We're going to play each one of these strings nice and slow. So this is free stroke. We're going to pluck with our thumb, and then index finger on the third string, middle finger on the second string, ring finger on the first string. And let's do it again. Okay, here we go. So this is our full plant with our thumb on the sixth string. One more time, and then we're going to move our thumb. So a little bit of a check. Is the thumb still past the first finger a little bit? Watch out for that, okay? It doesn't seem like a big deal when your thumb's on the sixth string, right? But it's just when it gets closer. So let's start moving it closer. Move your thumb to the fifth string now. Let's do it again. I did this sort of stuff for, I don't know, years with all of my training. It's good to do. And you can feel it kind of wakes up your fingertips, right? Now let's move to the fourth string. Now take a look. If my thumb was here, my hand position would be a little bit hinky too, right? So I'm comfortable. I've got that thumbs up kind of feeling. And my thumb is going to pluck. And this is where that technique of the circle with the thumb, whoops, is handy because it bounces and gets away from the finger. And the finger can do that, moving freely past the thumb. So practice that a few times. That's where that hand positioning is really, you know, it's good to be mindful of it there. One more. All right, time for a sip of coffee. So that's a full plant. You can do that with any chord, right? It doesn't have to be all open strings. You can sit there and you can play that with whatever chords you like. If you're comfortable playing chords on your instrument, just go for it. You know, it doesn't, these warm-ups, these drills do not have to be some dry, dull thing. I like that because I like the sound of all the strings ringing out, but I can tell you what I do with it. I like to put my finger, I didn't write this part down. I figured I knew I would just kind of start talking, right? Because I talk a lot. Go up to, say, your 3rd fret on your 6th string. Use whatever finger you need to. Just be mindful of the fact that you're going to have to make sure all these open strings can ring out. Now we'll just do the full plant on the, I'm going to move this down a little bit. We'll just do the full plant on the 6th string. So we'll go 6. Now I'm sitting kind of funny because I'm trying to show you both hands here. And then do it again. Now go to the 2nd fret of that 6th string. And now open. It's amazing what you can do. Now check this out. You can move up and down any fret you feel like on the 6th string, and it'll sound like it's really kind of a cool. Now I'm not placing my fingers all down on the strings each time I do that. If you watch, what I'm basically doing is I'm playing frets 5, 3, 2, open. You might want to make a note of that if you like that sound and you feel like that might be something that you would want to do to play around with some finger picking. 5, 3, 2, open is all I'm doing there. I'm going to write down the fret numbers for a little further up, and that might be something, as I think about it, might be something that you guys would like to do. And what I'll do is I'll just write them down on my handy dandy whiteboard. Here we go. I really get a kick out of making up my own studies, right? My own way to play, because it doesn't have to be something that's, you know, tedious, right? Just horse around, make up your own stuff. All right, so the frets that I would use for that would be, just to get you moving, 7, 5, 3, 2, 0. And what I'm going to do is turn around and put this on the screen so it's recorded too, just in case. So those are the fret numbers on the 6th string. Play around with it right now, and don't feel like you got to put down all your fingers on the strings when you play. Just put them down as you need to play them. So when I say that, thumb goes on the 6th string, and then pointer finger on the 3rd, middle finger on the 2nd, ring finger on the 1st. And just take your time with it. Something to watch out for is make sure that your hand is curved up enough that it doesn't interfere with the 1st and 2nd strings ringing out. Okay. Now I'm going to put this down and I'm going to play again, but I'm going to stand up a little bit closer to the screen. Let's see how I can do with this. There we go. Okay. I didn't set up a footstool for myself. Oh dear. There we go. Okay. So here I am. Got that. So that's good. That's what you need to see. So I've got my hand position there, and you may or may not feel like you can use all of those strings, all those fingers. And if you feel like you're not quite ready, there's nothing wrong with just moving with one finger. Okay. But what I want you to notice is when I'm doing this, I'm not laying down all of my fingers at the same time, because I've done that exercise to touch the strings. Now what I'm going to do, see how they just land like that? one after another, because I've already figured out the spacing of the strings. I've touched them. Oh, there's construction outside. Hang on. I gotta shut my door. I keep it open for the cats. Larry, you'll learn about my kitties. Oh, Larry, I used to work in a daycare and I miss the toddlers, so I think I just treat my cats like toddlers. My husband made fun of me the other day. He heard me outside talking to Nico. And he said, "Are you talking to a cat or a person?" "I'm talking to my baby. Just talking to my baby." All right. So I'm going to play 7, 5, 3, 2, 0. And I'm going to play each one 4 times. Okay. And so I'm just using that full plant off the 6th string. Just touch the strings, feel them, and then we're going to let them go. And again. One more. Now to 5. Yeah, cool. Oh, I lost count. One more. Now to 3. Now, how's your hands feeling? Are you able to keep your hand up a little bit and away from that side of the strings? Can the strings ring out? That's a big thing. Okay, and now down to 2. Now open. I'm just going to rest this hand here. I'm resting it because I'm holding up my guitar. So when you do that, you can play whatever fret you want. I'm just going to sit down now and just kind of tee off on that. I think it would be a fun thing to do. Look at me move. I'm just going whatever frets out of those guys. So you can mix them up. You don't have to play 7, 5, 3, 2, 0 in a row like that. Okay, it's by all means do that, and then when you find a fret that you like the sound of, play that one a few extra times. Oh. All right, so I'm just going to sit here for a minute, give you guys some time to play around with that. There's not a lot to think about with this one, except you can use one finger on the fretboard. All the focus should be on your picking hand, really, so don't make it tricky on the fretboard. Just, if you can watch this hand as you hear that sound, if you can watch that hand a bit too, once you get comfortable with this, watch it as you play and make sure thumb is going past the finger. If you can. But here's the other thing too. Is it the end of the world if your thumb is in a slightly different position? No, it's not. That's just the technique that I've been taught. So I'm just sharing with you what I've been taught. But we're all different people. We're all going to hold our hands a little differently. It sounds really intense, hey? Oh, I like that. All right, now we need to move on. You guys ready? So that was like warm-up stuff. Can you guys hear that saw and everything? No, you can't, Larry? Oh, good. Thanks. It makes me feel better because I can hear it. I've written out a blues tune for us to do. I sat around last night and I was writing music for this. I'm so excited. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be using our thumb on the string 6 and 5 open, and also string 5 fret 2. So just take a minute there and play string 6 just like that with your thumb. Okay, and then I want you to go to string 5. Okay, and then I want you to put your finger on fret 2, string 5. Okay, so that's the other one we're going to do. So it's a 12-bar blues in E. Go back to your open 5th string, which is the note A. Now go back to that 2nd fret on that A string. That note is B. I have it written down on the music that I'm going to give you guys, that's a B. Okay, now go to your open A, which is your 5th string. Yeah, good. Okay, and now to your 6th string, which is E. Now, to remember the names of these strings, there's always different sayings, but I heard one a couple of years ago from one of my students, and it stuck with me. Okay, so the names of the strings are E, A, D, G, E, E. Now, I have that written down on the sheets I'm going to give you, but to remember it, elephants and donkeys grow big ears. And I love it because elephants is a big, deep sound. And my students always remember that that's the elephant side. The weird one is the word grow. Elephants and donkeys grow big ears, not have. They always say have because that makes more sense. But I say this like science now.
The one I always used was 88 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie.
Oh, yes. There's another one about Elvis, isn't it? I don't remember. Yeah, this is the thing. So you got it going, Larry. Yeah, I was thinking about that one, 88 Dynamite. Goodbye, I think it's, Eddie. Yeah, Goodbye, Eddie. All right, let me pull up. So, Larry, how long have you been playing guitar for?
Oh, I used to play it many years ago when I was in university, and then I kind of left it traveling and everything, and then I got back to the ukulele, and then I picked up my guitar and my banjo a little bit, and so I'm sort of playing around with all of them. Now with the pandemic, you're sitting at home anyway, you're not doing anything, so
right, may as well play.
May as well play it. Put my band here and away I go.
Oh, it's so awesome. Okay, my cat opened the door. I just have to shut it here. Okay, you're back in, Nico? Yes. That's good. Is it nap time? Mm-hmm. I feel like I could run a cat daycare and be really happy about that.
I lived in Kamloops many years ago.
Because you're in Penticton, right?
Yeah, but I lived in Kamloops many years ago. I lived out at 850 Sumac Place out in way out in past Tronquil, way out west side, 850 Sumac Place.
I'm on Jensen.
Jensen, where's Jensen?
Jensen's out closer to, remember Cooper's Shopping Center out there?
I remember Cooper's, yeah, we were blocked from Cooper's.
Yeah.
Sumac Place, yeah.
When did you move out of Kamloops?
We were there for about 3 years back in the late 70s, and I worked on Tronquil Road, 725 Tronquil Road.
Mm-hmm.
Aspen Medical Center was there, and we worked there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And then we went overseas for about 10 years.
Oh wow!
So we were all over the place.
Yeah, I've lived in Kamloops most of my life. I went down to the coast to study music, and then I've traveled to different areas to study, and lived in West Side.
Yeah, well, that's right. We lived 850 Sumac Place.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to go check out the house.
Oh, it's still there. It's a nice house.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I'll go. It's just off. About a block from Cooper's, in toward the mountain.
I still call it Cooper's, even though it's Save-On now. I'm like, nope, just call it Cooper's.
Cooper's.
All right, you guys, I'm going to share this stuff. You ready? We're going to have a little talk about making sure that you can. Can you guys see that? Okay. So just what I'm going to do is just run through a bunch of this and make sure you guys are comfortable with it. So. Just some of it's review from what I talked about earlier. So picking hand, do you guys see where my mouse is up there? On the top of the screen? Yeah, okay. So picking hand fingering, just so you remember. Thumb is P, index is I, middle is M, ring is A. Now I've got a little note over here on the other side of the top of the page that says quarter note. And that's because what we're doing with the thumb is just a quarter note rhythm. So you can think 1, 2, 3, 4, or ta, 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 whatever makes sense for you, okay? Now here's a review of the folk plant that we just did. If you're not sure about reading tablature, I thought that using this full plant as a way to kind of get your mind wrapped around this tablature would be handy. On the left side of the page there, you can see where, if you see where my mouse is. Oh, question, do you guys want me to make this screen bigger? Because I can do that if you'd like. Is it an okay size? It's okay? Okay. All right, so string 6 is always the lowest string. And people often say, well, why is it written that way? Why wouldn't it be the other way? But when you read sheet music, like piano music or whatever, the lower notes are on the bottom of that music. It drops down. The lower it goes on that sheet music, the lower the sound of the note. So that's why, I think that's why the 6th string, the lowest string of the guitar, is also sitting here, even though you might think it looks backwards. You know, I think that's what it is. So got the names of the notes of the strings here. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie, or elephants and donkeys grow big ears. And here's the full plant, like just looking at that. That's where we had our thumb on the 6th string. Okay, and then strings 3, 2, 1 were open. Okay, and then moving along to string 5, doing the same thing, and then string 4, right? Now what I've done here on the next line is, you can see it's really pretty straightforward compared to what we've done already. So you've got your E pattern, and it's just your 6th string open. That's your first bar of quarter notes, second and third, and then I put at the end of that line, I put the slash with the dots there that looks kind of like a % sign. I put it there on purpose so that you get used to reading that. It just means to repeat the last bar, right? So I'm going to start playing and talking as I go. So play the 6th string with me, that first line. So we've got our E, and then again another bar of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more bar. Oh, repeat previous bar. 4 more of that. E, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to the next line. That's your A. We're going to play that. So that's your 5th string. 2, 3, 4. The slash and the dots. Play the previous bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now back to E. I'm going to move my camera down a tiny bit so you can see my hand a bit better. There we go. And you can see I've got these guys. Look at how I sit there as a habit. I just have them anchored, just sitting there. It's not a rule that they're always there, but it's a nice anchor for me. Okay, now the second line of this progression, back to the E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat the last bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now remember how I told you guys to hit the 2nd fret of the 5th string? There's that 2nd fret of your 5th string with the note name B written above that. So I would recommend, for what we're doing here, you're probably going to want to use your pointer finger there. So I hit my B. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to open A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, I missed writing in a letter name. Look. So go to your 6th string open, which is E, even though I don't have that written down. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I've just got the 1 open written there? And then 3 dashes after that. That's just to let you know that that one rings out for the whole time. So that one's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I got all crazy with the second part because we've got our bass part, but now we have to play something over top of that, okay? Now I've written out this melody part so that you can play it all with one finger. It's totally fine, not a big deal. Okay, but you just don't want to use your thumb on part 2 because your thumb's going to be busy with the bass notes. So what I'm going to do is play this bar, the first bar, a couple of times, and I'll keep moving on to each one. I'll play them slow, and hopefully you guys can play them with me. So section 2, that first one, we're on the 2nd string, and we're playing 0030. So I'll turn my hand so that you can see it like this. So you know I'm just using one finger to pluck at this point. 0, 3, 0. Okay. Middle finger might feel good there. Depends. Use what feels right. Okay, I'm going to play that again. 0, 3, 0. Now the next bar is open on the 1st string. 0, back to 3 on the 2nd string. 0, and I'm going to do it again. 0, the next bar is the same as the first bar. 0030 on the second string. 0030. Oh, the next bar is easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just sit there because you got the 4 dashes, right? Oh, good. That's a coffee break spot. I'm going to play that whole line now. Okay. Here we go on the second string. Ready, go. 0030. First string, open. Back to the second string. 3, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's what we're playing over our 6th string. And now the next line goes to A. You see where it says the A pattern there? Okay. Now I just realized when I share the screen, you guys can't see me play. I keep forgetting that. So I'll play through all this and then I'll turn it off and show you my hands, okay? 0, 0, 3, 0 on the first string. Let me play that again. So the handy thing is because it's the same fret pattern as the E one, you know, it's easier to kind of remember that one. Now the next one is 5, 3, 0, 0. If you want to use the same finger to play the 5th fret and the 3rd fret, it's totally cool. 2 different fingers, absolutely fine too. Next bar, 0030 back on that second string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to play that whole line, okay? So back on the first string for 0030. 5, 3, 0, 0. Second string, 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, coffee, break. There, okay, good. Yeah, that's where you can totally sip some coffee. Next line with that B, because of the fingering we're going to use there, even though it'll feel weird, I would recommend you use your ring finger on that 2nd fret note, just to prepare yourself for what's coming, okay? So even though it might feel weird, ring finger, and just make sure your thumb is anchored on the fretboard behind you, or the back of the neck, right? That will help. I'll talk about that. I'll show you that. Okay, so on the 2nd fret, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then open on that same string. And now because I just used my ring finger for the 2nd fret note, I'm going to do the same thing when I hit that 3rd fret for the E pattern. 0, 3, 0, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to stop sharing the screen and I'll play this so that you can watch my hands. There we go. I always forget that, you know, because I see a pretty big picture of myself and I think, oh, everyone can see everything. All right, so I'm going to play that 2nd section part, and this is all going to be, I'm going to put it on my website so you can just grab it from there. Okay, here we go. So second section is going to be like this. And you can see where my thumb's sitting back there. It might be up higher, lower, depends on the size of the instrument I'm playing too. So if you feel like your thumb wants to be up higher, that's okay. You know, I got little hands, so I got to watch out where I put my thumb. All right, so I'm going to play that whole thing again. We're all different, right? Our bodies are all different. So the whole thing is to keep the thumb back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then my next part. 5, 3, 0, 0. Back to the 2nd string. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is where I hit the 2. So that's our melody that we're going to be tucking in with the 6th string. Now I think what I'm going to do is quickly write out some of it on the whiteboard so I can talk about it and share it with you without having to have the screen disappear. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to share the screen so you guys can practice your practice the 2 parts separately, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to practice putting them together. All right. So I will just do a quick little bit of writing. If you have questions right now, unmute yourself Ask away, okay?
Would you repeat what finger to use on the very bottom line?
Oh, okay, where it says B?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would use my ring finger there.
Okay.
Because you're going to wind up having your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Hear all that? That's me being busy with my whiteboard. It's not going to be super pretty what I'm drawing, you guys, just so you know. I was having so much fun playing this last night. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay. I'm going to show you the first part. I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and I'm going to show you the first part and how we're going to connect it, okay? I'm also going to, okay. So what we're going to do now is, here's the 6th string that we were playing, right? Open. And here's the melody. We're going to combine the two, and it's going to be a pinching technique we use. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you that pinching technique, and then we're going to get going playing this. So that pinching technique. Oh, hey, hang on here. This is exciting. I'm just going to move this right up here. My computer chair is my new good friend. What? That's awesome. Except for that light. Oh, yeah. Can you guys see that okay? Is that kind of bright enough? I gotta get new markers still. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is the opens there. So in order to get that feeling, what I'm gonna do is I'm playing my 6th string and my 2nd string. And look at this, I'm just gonna use my pointer finger on my 2nd string, and I'm gonna go like that. You can use your middle finger if you want, whatever finger you want, really. Okay, but I'm picking the two of them like that at the same time. I'm not doing that. Just like that, okay? Now I'm pulling my hand away further than I would, just to show you. Normally I just go like that. Almost like I'm trying to pick up the strings. So that whole technique of the pinch, or the name pinch, makes sense to me, except when you hear that, what you don't want to do is go and bring your fingers down. You want to make sure that there's still that kind of that bye-bye kind of thing, right? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I think, close that door because my kitty's having his nap now. He won't start freaking out about the door being closed. But what I'm going to do is come back, and I'm going to play these guys together here. So they're all quarter notes, all lined up together. Try it out. Try it out, and I'll be right back. There. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Who knew that my computer chair was my whiteboard stand? All right, so I'll just put my guitar down here a little bit, and I'll play the first 2 lines, and then I'll put up stuff to share. Now, because of the position I'm in, I'm going to use my pointer finger to play. But this is where it shows that, like, you can use whatever finger you want in the fretboard, except for that 2nd fret on the B. Right, so you've got the opens here. I'm going to play this line again, a little bit slower maybe. Open, open, so both 6th and 2nd string, and then 3rd fret on that 2nd string, still 6th string open. Back to the opens, and now we're here with 6 and 1 open, And then all with the sixth string, right? So you just keep plucking that sixth string with each melody note. Okay, and now I'm going to go down here. Okay, and I'm going to play that part there, the 0030, which is the same as the top bar, right? And then just the sixth string open, pulsing away there. So now we've got this. And this last bar just plucks with the thumb. Now what I'm going to do is play all of that together and try to line myself up here. Oh, hey. I've been listening to a lot of, what they call it, swamp blues. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's pretty awesome finger picking blues on the guitar. And it's like, look up swamp blues on YouTube and see what you find. It's kind of cool. So what I'm going to do right now is put down my guitar and move this a little closer. What I want you guys to do is to just try picking these two guys, just the top line, and let me know how it feels. So you got your sixth string and your second string plucking together. Okay, and just go for it. Take your time. Let me know how it goes. Ask me questions, okay? So my question for you guys is, does this make sense reading this tablature? Okay, yeah, okay. Do you have any questions about the technique that's used here? No? Okay. So what I'm going to do then, oh, yeah, Larry? Oh, you got to unmute yourself, my friend.
I'm much more comfortable plucking that fourth string with my ring finger.
Plucking the fourth string? Oh, like when you get up here to the string here, you mean? Can you move your camera down at all so I can watch your hands, or bring your hands up? Yeah. Oh, okay, using your ring finger to pluck the string here?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, then by all means do it. Yeah, there's the whole thing here is to get the feeling of two concepts, the pinch and then this whole dead thumb plucking thing where you just keep playing on the beat. So yeah, as long as you're able to play that and that together comfortably, Larry, it's all good. Yep. Yeah, good. Okay, I'm gonna put up the whole thing now, okay? It's pretty fun to do this stuff.
It is.
Yeah, it's just a good time. Okay, so I'm gonna mute you and I'm gonna talk about what we've got here. Now I'll play it first. I'll move my little whiteboard friend out of the way. Okay. Well, look at me, I'm evolving. I just needed this fancy computer chair that I complained about, so Damon gave me. I'm like, my other chair wore it out. Okay, so I'm going to play the whole thing. Watch this hand here. I'm going to do mostly with my middle finger, but you guys can see, you can play whatever combination, your thumb and whatever finger you feel comfortable with. So this is the part I already showed you. Now when we play the A pattern, thumb moves down to the fifth string. Now we're playing this part here, where we go up to the fifth fret. And then see how my fingers, they're moving like this in unison, okay? You've got your fifth string and your first string, or your sixth string and your second string. So you just pick them up and move them like that, right? So that's kind of handy. You might want to practice that right now while I'm playing. Your thumb and whatever finger you want to use on that second string, and then pick it up. Thumb goes to the fifth string, and whatever finger you want to use goes to the first string. You know, just to feel the spacing, right? Because this is a lot bigger than a ukulele. Oh, so much talking. I'm going to start over again. 1, 2, here we go. And then see how I'm moving right back. And then I got time to do this part here where I've got my ring finger on the 2nd fret of string 1 and my pointer finger on the 2nd fret of string 5. So that's why I suggested my ring finger. You guys might be flexible enough to use your middle finger and your pointer finger. I'm not. I can feel my middle finger just wants to pop right off that. So whatever works. Or, hey, you might do this. Smush your finger down and go like that. That covers both those frets too, doesn't it? Do whatever gets you there, okay? Whatever. I'm all classical, so I'm all like this. I don't always think about just doing that. So there's always options. Okay, so that part there, I made it so it's not some killer thing. And then that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna pull that up. And when I do that, talk about it. If you have questions, let me know. Okay, so this part here at the beginning, this is just what I put on the whiteboard, but it's much tidier now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through that first line. I'm going to play through it all and just go slow and talk about it as I go. But I'm going to hit that first line again now that it's going to look a little different, right? Here we go. 3, and then open, next bar. So that's where I'm pinching 1st and 6th string. Back to the 2nd string with 3rd fret. Next bar. Oh, 3, oh. Now we've got those open, so we have time to think. Next line with your 5th string open and your 1st string. 3rd fret, open. Now up to that 5th fret. 3rd fret, open, open. Move everything back to string 6 and 2. Time to think. Whatever gets you to those 2nd frets there. 2nd fret on your 5th string, 2nd fret on your 1st string. Okay, and now strings 5 and 1 open. Strings 6 and 2 open. 6 and 1 open. How did you guys do? Yeah? Like, does it make sense? Yeah, that's a big thing. And you don't have to play it perfectly. You don't even have to play it like me. You know, you might be all like, oh, I like a few different frets in there. Put them in. Make it your own song. The concepts I want you guys to get out of this is getting comfortable reading that tablature, because you may or may not be comfortable reading tablature. And I don't know who else is going to watch the video or who else may have questions. So that's one of the big things. Getting the feel of picking with your fingertips gently, right? And kind of that waving bye-bye kind of thing with the fingers. And the concept of pinching the strings together, plucking them together. So I'm going to sit and play through that again. And then ask me questions or play it for me. You know, you can always play it and just be like, okay, do I have it going on? Here comes the 3rd line. some smiles. Oh, so cool. This one, it's kind of it's one where if you had people strumming chords along with you while you played that, they could play those chords, the E chord, A chord, and B chord. They could make them all seventh chords. It would sound really cool if they played an E7. Like if you had a buddy hanging out playing the guitar or ukulele or banjo, Larry. Just make them all seventh chords. Oh, it sounds so groovy. So you can start, we'll play with it. We'll play and we'll play and we'll play. We'll add, we'll play, but I don't want to overwhelm. Because that's no fun if you get a whole bunch of stuff and you're like, I can't get it. So this is step one of our journey with blues and E. Now somebody sent me a message. Let me just check and see what's cooking here. There. Okay, so how did that feel? Were you able to get the pinching? Just don't pinch each other for practice. That's not cool. Well, like I say, we'll add more to it as we go, but it's first step, right, towards doing this finger picking on guitar. Oh, it's so much fun, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. So it's going to be, I'll leave the video up on, I guess, just up on my YouTube channel. I will also have this recorded separately, and I don't know quite what I'll do with it. I know it's going to be available on the YouTube channel anyway. And you can find it there and watch it. If you have questions, or if you're like, I just want to play what I've been working on for Tina, well, send me a message. Send me a video, right? I mean, you can always do that on Facebook Messenger too. And it can be private. You just send it to me and let me know how you're doing. I'm gonna stop I don't actually.